And now we are live.
Huzzah!
All right, let that warm up for a little bit. Some of these things that we have are pretty exciting.
Oh yeah,
especially some of these new stuff.
I'm giddy.
Yes.
Giddy.
Yes. Did you enjoy the weather at all today?
No.
No. Actually, it's not that enjoyable. I was told by my parents that other than the wind, it was okay. So.
This is South Dakota though. That's like that's kind of like saying, when you're in California, other than the heat, it's great.
True.
Or it's a dry heat. Still hot.
We have dry heat here. Did not know that.
I think dry heat is when the bar is too warm and they turn off the taps or something.
Oh, sure.
Trying to get you out.
Yeah, that works too.
That's dry heat.
I remember back watching Jeff Dunham make fun of that, going to Florida, so muggy that, and then went to Arizona to a dry heat, and he made fun of that whole situation with Walter.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No,
you a fan of Jeff Dunham?
I used to be. I kind of grew out of my Jeff Dunham phase. I tend to like my comedians a bit more cerebral, like Bill Burr. I love.
Sure, yeah, he's really good.
I loved Carlin growing up. I think he was some of the stuff that he did 20 years ago is still relevant and funny.
Mm-hmm.
It aged well. It's just and his ability to master the language and point out the inconsistencies of it was just beautiful.
Right.
It wasn't just the foul language. Foul language is good.
Right.
He cursed with the best of them. Him. At one point it's like we were having an argument about who was the best cursor in the world, and it was down to Carlin, and it was down to can't believe I'm blanking on the name.
Oh, trust me. We had that moment last week with Jack and Gus. So
I can see his face perfectly. Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson.
There you go.
I had to say the name. But it was between Carlin and Samuel L. Jackson. Really, what it came down to is Carlin cursed better overall.
No Robin.
Robin, in comparison, didn't. He cursed, but it was not. He cursed, but he didn't have the masterful of like.
True.
It was for him. It was filler words. For
right.
Carlin, it was point.
Right.
And for Samuel L. Jackson, Samuel L. Jackson has mastered one curse word in his ability,
right. Yep.
Perfectly. Carlin wasn't as good as that one curse word, but by gosh, he mastered all the other ones as well.
We did have a famous fan chime in, says, "Hey, look at those two awesome folks."
I've been called worse. I think you must have me confused with someone else.
Maybe.
It's been
you look kind of famous, with the hat and. Anyway, guess that means
something like that.
Guess that means we have to start our show.
Sounds good.
All right. So welcome everybody to Rainbow Live presents Wednesday Night Lights with your hosts
Patrick
and Casey. We're bringing you all of the new and new to us / restock stuff for the week. And the first thing we get to show off are these bad boys right here.
Yes.
We have Red Hulk on top and the Thing on bottom.
Actually, I think we have the Thing on top as well because he's fighting the Red Hulk on the top of that one, which is awesome.
Right.
We got the Fantastic Four on this side, but we flip around. We got the Thing and the Red Hulk. Thing just mopping the floor with everyone. A huge who's who of villains. You got Paste Pot Pete's arm. You've got the Blob. You have the Wrecker with his ball flying up out of the way. You've got who's Juggernauts coming at him next, but he hasn't gotten there yet. It is awesome.
No, it is. And it's always good to have these mashups here. It just brings the whole story and all that. And then the Red Hulk, just because he's relevant now. Well, he's always been relevant, but because of the new movie.
Yeah, it's a new level of relevance. There's going to be a new interest in that character for a while.
Yeah.
It's interesting that it's Thunderbolt Ross and he's
right.
Spoilers. I think if you're watching this, you might know that already.
Right. Anybody that's read the books, yeah, you already know that. So, but it does make you still kind of wonder if, since he became Red Hulk in the movie, I still haven't seen it myself, but since he's become Red Hulk, does he still control the Thunderbolts?
I don't think it's going to be him controlling.
I know what's her name is, at least in the trailers. I don't even remember her name.
It has been said that movie has had the best testing of any Marvel movies since Thunderbolts has had the best testing of any Marvel movies since the New Phase.
Okay.
So I'm very, very hopeful, although I still think that it's not going to live up to what I want it to be.
Yeah.
But I'm a fan of the first series, so it's not going to be the first series.
Sure.
I still hope the asterisk means that they're not the Thunderbolts, and at the end there's going to be a reveal of the real Thunderbolts, even though we know
Right. Now, unfortunately, to you sports ball fans, we have no new sports ball product in this week.
Oh.
Yeah. So I guess to fill that sports ball time, we'll use a little bit longer question of the day, or question of the week, I should say. So since it's tournament time here soon, we'll talk about it further probably down the line when it gets closer and closer to the championships. I guess the question of the week this week is, are you filling out a bracket? And who do you think, in your mind currently, is going to be champions for both women's and men's?
I don't fill out brackets just because it's one of those things. I don't watch enough college basketball to know.
Sure.
I'm going to be rooting for Notre Dame either way in the women's and the men's bracket. That's just family. I don't get to watch enough college basketball with my schedule as I don't get to watch enough sports or much sports period. I think I watched 3 football games all season this year. So and one of those was the Super Bowl. So it's one of those things that it's just with the way my priorities are right now, I don't have the time to sit and watch the games like I used to.
Nothing wrong with that. So.
But Duke's always a powerhouse. I don't know if that's still the case as it used to be, but Duke always seems to be a powerhouse.
Right. They had a couple years where it was kind of iffy, but
one of my brothers always pulled for Kentucky, so I guess I'm hoping they'll do well.
Sure. I guess, yeah, I actually will be filling out brackets for both women's and men's myself. And I guess for the women's, my pick since the beginning of the season, just because I knew they were the one of the very few teams that actually brought all of the starters back, and then they added to it, Notre Dame for the women's. And then for the men's, I've questioned them at the beginning of the season, especially when they had 2 key losses at the beginning. But for the men's, I'm gonna keep going with Duke, just because they are a powerhouse this year. So maybe not the powerhouse, but they're one of them. So
I'm not a fan of Duke, but it's kind of like to me they're like the Alabama of basketball.
Yeah,
they've won for so long and so steadily that they just kind of like to see them lose.
Right.
No offense to any Duke fans, you have the right to your fandom. I am a Notre Dame fan. I get it. It's
right. Yeah, no, you're totally right with that. All right, so going on from that, we're going to get onto a product that, we only have 2, and they're mighty expensive, but we have some Transformers 40th Anniversary Edition trading cards. So those of you that love to see that they are more than meets the eye and want to have collectible cards, nothing really like that stands out on any of the wording on it, like other than right here at the bottom, deluxe ultra premium trading cards, 7 cards per pack, 12 packs per box or mini box. So, and since this is the 40th anniversary, which was last year, from what I've been told, these are decently expensive. So, it definitely open up that piggy bank if you want to collect some nice.
But
Transformers.
If you're into card collecting and you haven't had one to go into lately, this might be something funkier and interesting to go into. I don't know if they have like the signature cards or anything like that in this set, but it's going to be fun to pop open.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't really say if there's any signature. Oh, wait. Yeah, there are signed sketch cards. Whether or not it's an artist, I'm assuming it's probably the artist, kind of like the Star Wars ones. But
that'd be kind of awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then going into our world of hero clicks, we've got some special per case purchases. One being the Spider-Man Web Warriors box set, where if you buy one copy of the Spider, you can get either this or a Spider Rex. Unfortunately, we don't have any open box at this time. For the purchase, you can purchase one if you buy a Marvel Hero Clicks booster brick. So we've got both the Marvel Heroes Spider-Verse or Spider Rex, and Spider Rex is awesome. Just for that alone, it's worth coming into. And we still have some leftover from the last series for if you purchase free with purchase of 2 Collector's Trove bricks. We have the Incredible Hulk with Infinity Gauntlets, not one, but 2 gauntlets. Ooh. Jacked out. I mean, look at how cool. I've seen some cool hero clicks, but that one's kind of awesome. Hulk, Gray Hulk, raging out, purple pants. We should have had. We had these when he was here, didn't we? We should have had him sign the boxes.
Right. That would have been awesome. This is our only current Pokemon product that's coming out here on Friday. This is the booster bundle for Scarlet Violet Prismatic Evolutions. So those of you that need to add to your collection for the Prismatic Evolutions, we do now have the booster bundle. What do you got there, Patrick?
We have some more of the rubber dice, or I would say synthetic dice. So they are softer silicone based. They are the cryo by fire. So sometimes your character dies by fire, sometimes by ice. But if they had to perish twice, it would be by a roll of these dice.
Yeah. Next, we got Lorcana.
Oh, we got some Lorcana going on tonight, boys and girls.
Yep, we're gonna start out with showing off the box or the deck cases. Ooh, we have Cinderella and Ursula, and also the card sleeves. So those of you that like these cards and were waiting for these specific characters to sleeve up your cards, we've got Cinderella and Ursula.
And is Archasia's Island the new set? Is that correct?
I believe so. And this is all coming out Friday.
So coming out Friday, we have the Archasia Island. We have the full trading card game box. So we've got the full box going on here. We've got Bolts. We've got the Mad Hatter, and we have Esme. Is that the right name?
No, not Esme.
I just know she can't talk about Bruno.
Right. And of course she's not on here. But hey, just based on the picture on the back, a character from my youth, Bianca from the Rescuers Down Under. So is going to be in this set. And Baymax and Mushu. And it looks like Pirate Pete. Sorry, I didn't mean to not show you people. And then the Evil Queen and Pongo.
And then for new decks, we have the Iago and Jafar deck. And we have the Adventuring Beast and Bell deck. I think that's supposed to be Bell. That is Bell. Yeah. So that's kind of awesome. We got that going on as well. So for our Beauty and the Beast fans, our Aladdin fans, we've got new decks built just for you. I always root for the bad guys, so you know I'm a fan of the Jafar. And for your mat needs, we have a Lorcana mat for Betamax, and Hero. And then for our pirate friends, we have Pirate Tigger. Because if anyone embraces the energy of a pirate, it would be Tigger, except for the whole stealing and robbing and murdering part.
Right.
But yeah, it's. I am now envisioning the movies of the Pirates of the Caribbean with Tigger and playing the role of
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow, and it's kind of hilarious to me.
That would be hilarious. I guess to show off these
make me giddy.
So Universes is coming out with a new set, or has come out with a new set for Critical Role. So those of you huge Critical Role fans, We're going to start off here with Caleb
Widowgast.
Widowgast.
So we've got a full Caleb deck, and on the back it has a full screen of that art, which is absolutely fantastic. So our fans of the second season, we've got a Caleb. Also for season 2, we have Caduceus Beauregard and Molly Mock, Long May He Reign.
So, and to show off that art on the back.
Yeah. And for our season 1 fans, for our first individual one, we have Grog Strongjaw, the Raging Goliath Barbarian accent, all just getting ready to roll. So if you're into the games, that would be a fantastic mat to have. And then we have on our multiplayer mic, we have Pike, Percival, and Keyleth, and that art there is fantastic. So it's got 3 pieces of three awesome characters. And if you don't watch the show, maybe you watch the Netflix series, which is also fantastic, absolutely hilarious. If you've never played Dungeons and Dragons, it really gives you a level of the chaos of balancing the epic storyline and the random BS that these characters get into in their adventures. It is just what I love about Dungeons and Dragons, the contrast between the two things.
Right. Yeah, no, the show was great. Need to catch up more on it. I've only watched a couple episodes myself of the first season.
Oh, so good.
But I have read some of the comic books, which are really good too.
And we are getting the second season for the Mighty Nine, or the second series for the Mighty Nine, which I am so impatiently waiting for, because Mighty Nine is my jam.
So I guess that brings us to Funko Land.
Yay, Funko Land!
And me and Patrick get to show off some brand new Funkos, I guess.
So on the restock level, I will go ahead and grab a couple that I loved right from the word go that normally don't stay long. We have from Die Hard John McCain with the going through the broken glass with the bloody feet. This is one that goes. I rarely see stay long, so it's here and it's out, or ends up, or with some of the other ones with the white jersey ends up behind the counter. So if you're into that movie and you want something, get it for Christmas decorations next year, because it is a Christmas movie. Definitely one to grab.
I definitely should have put money down on you grabbing that one. I just knew that you were going to grab that one. So.
And for our fans of The Office, we got Prison Mike.
Prison Mike.
And Prison Mike, I've seen it go on the shelves, and I've seen it leave just as quickly. If you are a fan of The Office, love Prison Mike as much as the rest of us do, grab it while you can, because it's going to be gone before you know it. It's just one of those ones that we don't keep it long. It will leave before we even have a chance to think about it.
So my restocks that I'm going to talk about, one is from one of my favorite shows, not growing up because it was from the 60s, but I loved watching reruns. We have Sulu from the Mirror Universe from Star Trek, the original series. And then also for Full Metal Alchemist, I love this show. I actually really loved this character, Edward Elric. Yes, he was short, and everybody made fun of that, but I just loved it when he turned his arm, or his metal arm, into a sword. That was just so awesome.
Along with our Full Metal Alchemist fans, I'm not sure if this is a restock or not, or this is a new one that came in. We've got Indy coming in, so if you're a fan of that one, we've got that one ready and go for you. This one I've seen on the shelf before, so I think it is a restock. We've got from My Hero Academia, Infinite Deku with Eerie. So if you're a fan, if you have a friend who's a My Hero Academia fan, or you yourself are one, this is one to grab if you haven't grabbed it yet. Keeping up with the restocks here, we've got Phaeton from Hunter x Hunter. So we've got, so if you're a Hunter x Hunter fan, we got one for you. Tokyo Ghoul's coming out. I think they're doing a remake on this, which I hope it's true. But we have Nomura Furuta. So if you are a fan of Tokyo Ghoul, why aren't you? If you're not a fan of Tokyo Ghoul, it's one you should check out. It's a little dark, but it's fun. Going on with Pokemon, I've seen this one before, but you can't go wrong with Psyduck.
Yep.
And last, but definitely not least for me, we have from Predator 2, the City Hunter Predator. And this is a weighty Funko. So it speaks to the detail right from the word go. It's got the mask. It's got the staff. It's got the spine with the head attack. So it's. I just love the Predator movies. I love Prey so much. I cannot wait to see what they do with that series next.
Sure. Now, speaking of Psyduck, I do believe that the live action Detective Pikachu brought so much more depth to him with his conversations between him and Pikachu. I just thought that was, not only did it have hilarity and amusement, it also, just like I said, brought a depth to Psyduck being aware of his surroundings. But I'll get to mine here. We got Stitch in costume. We have Stitch as the Cheshire Cat. So those of you that are huge Alice fans and also love Stitch, or are just continuing that Stitch collection like we talked about however long ago, we got that guy in. We also have another Stitch on the table over there, but I can't remember if he's dressed up or yeah, he is. It's Stitch with a candy cane, it looks like, in his mouth.
Yep, Christmas Stitch.
Yep. Next, we have from Slapshot, we have Reggie Dunlop. So I'm not very familiar with Slapshot. Are you?
Yes.
Is it an awesome movie?
So there are, I would say that for comedy movies, there are certain movies that stick out.
Mm-hmm.
You have Will Ferrell's basketball movie, which I can't think of the name of right now because
Tropical.
No, he played for
the Tropics. No, he played for the Tropics. Anyway, yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
You have Major League,
mm-hmm.
which is the ultimate in football, in baseball movie. For football, you have football movies. There are so many of them.
Replacements is my personal favorite.
My personal favorite is Necessary Roughness,
okay.
But that's because it's a little bit more PG and I get to watch it with my kids. It's a fantastic movie. You have Happy Gilmore.
Mm-hmm.
Slapshot is the comedy movie it's got that flair of being a minor league hockey team, barely hanging on, barely having the money to come in,
mm-hmm.
and it's got some.
Is this the movie where the ref comes up to the player and starts yelling at him, and then all of a sudden the player yells at him saying, "I'm listening to the national anthem"?
Yes.
Okay.
It is a fantastic movie. It has so many things that are referenced in other movies. So if you see a hockey reference and you don't know why other people are laughing, it's probably from this movie. So it is a classic, definitely one worth watching, tracking down.
Awesome. Next we have from No Limit, Master P. So I'm not very familiar with Master P, which will disappoint all our fans, probably.
The last thing I knew is he was starting a wrestling company.
Yeah,
so
that might explain the whole No Limit, maybe.
No, that was before then. He was in the No Limit Soldiers, and but he did wrestle in WCW, or he was involved with an angle in WCW, and then just in the past few years, he bought a promotion out of New York, and he is starting his own independent wrestling company.
Oh, cool. So next we have from Disney, we have Sleeping Beauty's Aurora and Merryweather. So and Merryweather's wearing the dress, it looks like, that they were changing the color.
And it is a 65th anniversary collector's edition. So you may have these Funkos already, but this is for the collector's edition version.
Yeah. So yeah, those of you that didn't get these when these came out, we have them here. So if you want to grab them, come on by. And then for sports ball, I guess we did get to have another little bit of a sports ball. We have from the Chicago White Sox, Dylan Cease. He is no longer a White Sox. He's now a Boston Red Sox. So went from one sock to the other.
Staying in the sock drawer.
Right. And then last but not least, for our Funko land for the day, we have from Justice League, the Brave and the Bold.
Fighting against Starro, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, Aquaman, the Flash, and Wonder Woman, all tossing down with Starro at his best or worst.
I guess I don't really remember this issue. Where's Batman and Superman?
It was an older issue, and I don't know if they were actually in the league as of yet, because they were actually not the founders, if I remember correctly.
True. But yeah, very, very cool piece. Actually, very great detail. Like Patrick said on the other one, with the heft, you can definitely tell with that it has a good chunk of detail in it to make it precisely what you would hope it would be for a nice Funko.
Exactly, and it's I always love those comic box display cases. I think they're just a nice way to display them. It's a different way. It gives give the background art of why the image is important. I absolutely love them.
Sure. All right, that wraps up our show. I will take these last few minutes to say I want to appreciate all of our customers that we've had come in and all of our friends that we've met and had all that through here, especially people like Johnny Five,
Yes.
Sam.
Yes.
Who else have we lost? That, or I shouldn't say lost. That who else is left? I don't know why I can't remember his name. The redhead. With the ponytail. Just recent, he was one of the more recent ones that just left. Colton, yeah, Colton. All these awesome people we've worked with, and I give you a air hug because you're not here for me to give you a hug. To appreciate you guys.
Word.
With everything that's going on these days, I just feel that that's just needed for those that are in our lives that we appreciate. So
the world's a crazy place. Enjoy the people who are around you because they're important.
Yep. And so with that, I will close the show with you guys have a good night. We are open till 8 tonight.
Drive safe.
Yep.
Drive to arrive.
Yes. Thankfully, not like yesterday. That must have been fun for you last night, huh?
No.